Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston back in the building. Another SPS Mental Toughness Zoom class with my guys. Great intern of 2020, DJ Swift, Delano Swift, that is, representing Monmouth College. He'll be heading back to school soon. Mr. Malachi, who's always there, Malachi Irvin, outstanding young man. We definitely miss him when he's not on the call. And we got to give it up to Houston, that is, Coach Orlando Watkins, always keeping us connected. Getting our message out to the great platforms, including AAU basketball throughout the state of Michigan, as well as communicating this message to people all throughout the country, if not the world. So with that, we're getting ready to wind down our summer, and if there's any way of trying to figure out summer's winding down, it's when the interns start heading back. DJ, we didn't have the COVID, holding us down. This is when you be in somebody's office getting cake and getting a little going away something, a little gift and all that, and saying we want you
Right.
back. But man, let me tell you something. You've done an outstanding job this summer,
Appreciate
and
you.
even with us not being able to do some of the things we wanted to, we still were able to do a lot of great things. And one thing I remember in particular is when we went and spoke to Everett High School, and I say we because I presented and talked about the book, but just you being there with that young man, another high school player afterwards, and the inspiring words you shared with him, and I even think your relationship with Malachi. I remember we would talk a lot. Malachi, well, I want to go back to what DJ said. I was like, all right, so you're making an impact. So DJ, with that, let's try to somewhat recap what this summer has been like for you. But also I want to lead into what you have going on when you return to school under these post-COVID conditions. So take us away with that.
This summer, compared to last summer's, like leaving the house is a lot different. Stuck in a house, but still been really good. With this, I'm really appreciative for the opportunity to be an intern this summer. A lot more research done than I usually do in the summer, looking up articles about COVID, mental health, mental toughness, and just other coaches, looking videos and stuff. But it's been a fun summer, even though everything's kind of been shut down a little bit. I've had fun doing what we're doing, and like you said, I feel like I've impacted a couple people. Even if I really haven't, at least I feel like I did. So I feel good. But yeah, it was a really good summer this summer.
Oh no, man, you definitely have. Believe that, and it's been great. Even of us going out, a quick golf outing, going working with some people. You coming on set at Press Pass, that may have really worked in my favor because soon thereafter I ended up becoming the producer and director of the show, man. So you're a good luck charm. But you've been able to be around, and you've always added some very substantive comments to our discussion. You helped bring a good group of guys on. It was a Jaden. And what was the other fellow's name?
Lucas Lee.
A great group. That was a great session that we had. So it's been good. So tell us a little bit more about what your school's plans are for you to return to school. Tell me what that makes you feel like as a student, but also the impact that has on you as a student athlete. So educate our viewers to what's happening with you.
So what my school has done is
and what was the other fellow's name?
Lucas Lee.
We got like a little delay right there.
Late. Okay. Yeah, all right. So what my school has done is they've done what's sort of like a flexible schedule. They've given people the option if they don't feel safe or comfortable to go back to campus, you can stay at home and do remote learning online, which is really cool. They've also given us the option. My belief is that even if we want to go back to campus and live on campus, you can still do remote learning. So you're not in a classroom full of people. And I believe they're going to restrict classroom sizes. Our classroom sizes have never really exceeded over 20 people. I think the largest class I've been in was probably 30, which is really, it being such a small school. But they're making us wear masks. They said they're going to keep us 6 feet apart. There's dorm restrictions. You're not allowed in a dorm that you're not living in. So like you can't go to your friends' dorms. And so pretty sure they're going to be a lot stricter with campus safety, and the RAs are going to have to be.
So what does that mean for people who have relationships with other people in other dorms?
Exactly. It shuts a lot of it down, which is where I feel the student body. I believe a lot of us are. I know I'm going to follow the mask rule, and a lot of my friends live in the same building as me. I had it set up like that, so it's not like I have to leave building. But I feel everybody's going to follow the mask rule. I just have a hard time believing everyone's going to follow the stay in your own building rule, which is why I'm a little frustrated on why they went flexible schedule with the cases going on. It's such a small campus. I feel like they could have been a little bit smarter on it. But I understand where the school needs to get their money. They need to get their enrollment up, and this thing shut everything else down. But they're doing their best. They've sent out they keep us posted on Twitter and sent out emails about how they're keeping campus safe. And I mean, for the most part, they're keeping it real flexible, where it's your choice. If you feel comfortable coming back to campus, you can do it. If you don't, then stay home.
Did they say anything about testing?
The Midwest Conference announced for athletic events that they plan on testing 72 hours before every event. But I'm not sure if it's going to be actual somebody there taking the test from the NCAA, or if it's going to be, our own personal administered test. They did just send out an email yesterday saying that they're going to attach a link to our portal, like our MyMC portal, which is like our student access portal. And it's going to be a COVID checklist that we're supposed to do every day. We have to submit our symptoms, how we feel. And if we show any symptoms that are related to COVID, or we're around anybody with COVID, and we submit that, then they send that to the higher people, and then we got to deal with that.
The tough thing about something like that, I mean, we look at the NBA, and JaVale McGee has an excellent podcast he's been doing where it's called Life in the Bubble. So it's like you see him from 7 in the morning when he wakes up and go throughout his day, man. But the NBA, man, they put a lot of resources into it. They got like this little monitor they put. They do their swabs. Everything is connected to technology, and that's one way to do it. But when you talk about, checking the list and being basically, using the honor code, I mean, that's something to be considered. Let me go to Malachi real quick. Malachi, you hear, DJ talking as a college athlete, college student headed back to school. What information have you got about you returning to school? And give me some insight of how that makes you feel, not only as a student, but also as a student athlete.
Well, in Warren, where I live, they said that they're going to do, it's like the rest of like 6 or so people in like each classroom, and then the rest does online learning. But my mom and dad said that they might make me just stay home and go like a couple days, I guess, and then stay home for the rest of the
so there are
or something like that.
Schedule, kind of like DJs, where you can either go or go there or be home.
Yeah, because this.
We have a little difficulty, but fortunately we were able to hear that part. So we got that.
It's like it's big in the normal year too. Like it's not a lot of kids that's going there.
And what's the name of your school again?
Oh, this year I'm going to Brother Rice.
Okay, so Brother Rice, which for those who don't know, is a very very influential Catholic all-boys school, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's saying a lot, man. You're going to Brother Rice. Orlando knows about that. DJ, Brother Rice is one of those private schools down in the Metro Detroit area that is has a well-known history of success for its students. And that says a lot about you, Malachi, but I'm not surprised. So, Malachi, I'm going to put you back on mute, and I want to go back to DJ really quick on that. Wow, man. What does that do for you? And you talked about the research you'll be doing as you wrap up this program. And you said the 3 topics: COVID, mental health, and mental toughness. Now you're getting ready to go back into this new environment. That's your old environment, but new standards. What does that do for you from a standpoint of, one, your concern with COVID, 2, the mental health aspect, and just you being mentally tough as an athlete?
It's definitely I'm going to have to be a lot more aware of what I'm doing throughout the day. I know before I was able to just walk in buildings, say what's up to my friends. I saw somebody walk, hey, let me come kick it with you till I got class in an hour. But now it's not like that anymore. Even outside now, I mean, I wear my mask now and I try to stay as safe as possible. But I know getting back around friends and getting back around people you like is gonna be hard, and that's where the mental toughness comes in, because you got to stay disciplined and make sure that you're not giving in to any urges just because you see your friends take your mask off. Don't mean you got to take it off too. It's gonna be tough for a lot of people.
Let's keep it all the way funky, DJ. Now you got people coming back to school, coming from all parts of the country. I always like to tell people Malachi's age that college is like high school, where you got everybody in one place with no adults around and everybody live across the street. So now there's not that adult type presence to monitor, to influence, and to say, don't do this, don't do that. You're pretty much on your own. So what do you think people are going to be doing when they don't have that kind of, influence around them, being like a parental influence?
Right. I mean, that's the thing is, I don't know until I get there. It's never been seen before, but like I said, it's gonna be tough when you get around friends and you get back to that atmosphere where you're so used to being relaxed and free around people. I know it's gonna be tough for some people. They're gonna feel like, you're safe, I'm safe, I'm gonna take it off, but you never know what's floating around the air. You know,
the old school rapper Scarface has a song, and the hook goes, "Keep it moving." So you gotta just. I mean, I think that's tough, man. But you're absolutely right. I mean, sometimes I always tell this when I speak to young people, the hardest thing for a young person to do is say no to their peers, because you're developing this persona of who you are that may be separate from where you came from. That's okay. You're here on campus. You are who you are. But you got to be able to, one, to say no, because I'm sure there are going to be some very cavalier students, both male and female, who come back with the, I don't care about this mask, or don't worry.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Definitely. That kind of, that spring break attitude. How is that going to be, you think?
It's such a small school, too. It's our enrollment size my freshman year was just a little over 1,000 students, but last year around 800. And it's a small town. There's not much to do in the town. So I know a lot of the entertainment was social interaction. But people, you go hang with your friends, you go do something with your friends. Yes. So now it's going to be, can I isolate myself? Can I stay safe? Can I make sure I follow the rules so that it doesn't spread? And the school, like I said, the school's doing the most they can. They've cut down on a lot of our school breaks, or combined them into one, so people aren't constantly going back home and coming back to school. Like I said, they've allowed a flexible schedule, so they're letting people, if they don't feel safe or their parents don't feel safe, hey, stay home. You get the exact same learning in your own comfortable your household. So the school's doing what they can, but it's going to be up to the mental toughness and the discipline of all the students. Yeah. And it might be good for the first week or two, but around week 3, week 4, week 5, when people really get bored, and there's no sports, so no teams are going to be practicing. It's just going to be a lot of people sitting around looking for something to do.
I got another question for you. Malachi, stand by. I'm going to ask you another question in a second. But you say your enrollment is about 800. DJ, if you had to guess, what do you think physical on-campus enrollment is going to be when you get back?
I've seen a couple of my friends already post that they're going to stay home for fall semester and possibly come back spring semester, because a lot of the sports have been moved to start in spring semester too. I think, and it also, Monmouth is a very diverse school. We have people from over 33 different countries, different states, everywhere. So I think the people further away, maybe close to half of the enrollment might stay home, to be completely honest.
Almost split in half.
Just to say it on the safe side, because I feel like a lot of people would rather do it. If their sport is canceled, I feel like they would rather do their remote learning at home.
Do you think a lot of young people, yourself as an example, are you a little, anxious about having been home and you're kind of ready to get back to school?
Right.
Even though you don't know what it's going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, every summer is like that. It's like every year at the end of the school, I'm so ready to get home, and then I get home and I'm ready to get back to school. So it's I definitely feel that, it's 2 weeks, and I get to go back, and I'm talking to my friends and stuff. So I'm excited and like anxious to get back, but I'm also a little nervous about how everything's going to be handled. I'm nervous about how the administration is going to handle students who are complaining, because I know there's going to be people who have complaints.
So you already know, huh?
And I'm nervous of an outbreak, and then them just sending us back home eventually. So it'd be like I moved down there.
Not take it back home.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Hey, Malachi, you've been listening to DJ talk about that. I know this will be your first year over at Brother Rice. And do you know a lot of people who are going there? Do you have an idea what that community and culture is like? What's your expectation going to be when you get to that campus, even though you may be home most of the time?
When I don't know too many people that go there, but when I took the placement test, the coach for the school, he had gave me like a little tour of the school and the workouts that they do and the expectations, GPA expectations and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I got I got a good view of the school and all. Like, I got a feel for it and everything, basically, already.
So how do you feel about the idea, like DJ and I are talking about, just summer's wrapping up and we got to kind of get back to our old program of education. How do you feel about entering into the education world right now, whether it's online or in person?
I feel like I'm not mentally ready yet. Like, I still got to get myself mentally prepared for it. Still have to study a lot more.
I like that. And as you said that, DJ was nodding his head. I mean, I think that's a real response from both you guys to say, I'm not mentally prepared. And I think myself being out of school, and even though I do a lot of work in the schools, and they're talking about, screen to screen, meaning that the teacher will just be dealing with the screen. I don't think it's on me as much. Now, what I will say is on my heart as a parent, because my daughter's school, basically at the time of this recording, we were supposed to meet today, as I said earlier, to talk about what's going to happen, and they canceled the meeting. And I'm thinking they canceled the meeting because they're not at a point where they can answer the questions that are going to be asked. Because I think a lot of people, whatever they plan for COVID, if you plan for this COVID 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, all that has changed.
Scrap it.
It's changed.
Yeah.
So, but what I do like, man, and I'm very precautious, just like you are, DJ, as well as Malachi. I'm very precautious. But I still have this kind of feeling, man, I don't want to sound crazy when I say I still think that we got to start pushing forward. Not to say, oh, we got to see sports or get up in everybody's face, but we still got to start saying, okay, well, how can we navigate this? Now, my mother, who is based on her age, is in the age of individuals who are at high risk. So she's very cautious, if not like, hey, don't do nothing, don't move, don't touch nothing. Mm-hmm. My attitude is like, I still got to be able to navigate carefully to see what I'm capable of doing as we start to go back. So when you hear that kind of discussion with what a parent may say, compared to what, other young people, other people may say, where are you at with that, DJ?
Yeah. For me, it's because last year we finished off school remote learning. I did it over the summer at home, and personally, I had a lot tougher time actually obtaining the information because the actual time, the scheduled Zoom classes, the calls, I had work or I had something else to do, and which I couldn't say school should be more important than those things, but it was at a time where we needed money and this and that. So I would miss some of those Zoom calls and I'd have to go and rewatch the recorded lectures. It's a lot harder to teach myself.
Unlike running down to your professor or catching your professor in their office on campus, like, hey, tell me about this.
Right.
Go ahead.
So that's why me personally, I would rather go back to campus because I feel like I learn better on campus. I'm more engaged on campus. I might test out the option of doing the remote learning from my dorm room because I'll still be on campus. If I have a question, I could go meet one-on-one with the professor in his office, mask on and safety, all that stuff, rather than being in a classroom with other people and stuff. So I feel, it's my personal opinion, where I will learn better down there. Mm-hmm. But I'm not knocking anybody who's at home. If they have if they're more comfortable learning in their bedroom, then that's, all power to them.
DJ, I got to give you credit, man. I'm thinking back to all the interviews we've done, what we've done, but I think this discussion, low key, is probably one of the most impactful discussions we've had on the platform yet, as it relates to mental toughness, all these things, because we're talking about what nobody is really talking about. Like, we're getting ready to go back. No one's having this conversation right now, and here you are, a collegiate athlete. You're talking about what your experience is like, and you're just trying to figure it out. And I can sense by watching you that you're a little strained. You're a little, there's, you're kind of caught in between,
Yeah. It's, I've been talking to my parents. I've talked to friends. I've talked to advisors, talked to professors, just trying to figure out, what's the right thing to do. And, it sucks that it's my last year, have it on the senior year. And I want to get there and get the classes over. Even if sports are canceled, I want to get my degree. I need to get that degree. So me personally, being selfish, I would want to go back to campus just so I can get that better engagement.
When I hear you say that, and I want to acknowledge this, COVID knows no boundaries. It can go to wherever it wants to go, but at least you're talking from a standpoint of you're trying to be cautious, and you're not someone that's saying, you know, I don't believe in it. It's a hoax. It's a conspiracy. I don't care. I'm gonna do my thing. Let me be free. You know, and I think it's different. But what a great way for you to finish out your senior year, and hopefully you can get sports in. But the maturity you have and how you're learning to navigate these things, I think are going to be really important as you get ready to transition out. But I think it's a healthy opportunity for us to think. So I won't keep you guys too much longer. Let me just check in with Malachi. Malachi, do you have any other thoughts you want to add about, you know, preparing to go back to school and how you feel it's going to be or how it may be for your peers going back?
Not really much I can say about it. Just gotta be mentally prepared.
Got to be mentally prepared. I mean, sticking with that theme. Okay, I appreciate that. So with that, I'll go back to you, DJ. Yeah, man. We're getting ready to get back. So you got this
went
one
by fast.
to get it done. You know, you've had a great summer. I think that we really made the best of the summer considering. I mean, for some people, you know, the COVID shut down any internship, but fortunately through technology and how we were moving, we were still able to have a presence. We were able to get some great feedback from your school. Your midterm evaluation that I did, I was happy to give you rave reviews, which are all warranted. So I think we really made it happen. And I think with this attitude, man, we can continue to find success as we take these next steps with school starting back. And then the last thing I'll say, man, I'd love to get your opinion on this too. You know, we got to just do it, man. We got to be the generation of people that just got to get out here in the world, figure out what's the safest thing to do and act on it and make things happen in this new COVID society. I talk about that in the book, you know, A Guide to Mental Toughness in Sports and Life Post-COVID. You know, so with that, any final things you have for us before we wrap up?
My dad used to always talk about being scared get you nowhere. You know, if you just sit around with your tail tucked between your legs, no, you're not going to do anything.
Hey, when you make those comments and quotes, I just picture your dad saying, shout out to
wise man.
But that's real though, being scared to get you nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you said, I'm all for being cautious. I think everybody should be cautious. Everybody should know that this is real. It's happening. People are getting sick. But I'm with you also. I'm also with you where we got to push forward. We can't sit around and just wait for it to just disappear or wait for it to just go away or the magic day where it's gone. We still got life to live. We still got jobs to do, work to get done. We still got to keep pushing through.
We can push forward with the cautionary attitude. That's all. That's just not just jumping out there full speed, just still, but you got to get out there and navigate, respect the science of what's going on. And I think really at the end of the day, masks and social distancing seem to help. I mean, those two simple things that have become so politicized, you know, unfortunately, but if we can do those things, and then also too, just, you know, keep your circle a little bit smaller right now, you know, and go from there. So with that, we get ready to wrap. I think this has been a great discussion. I think this is some great discussion that can lead to other discussions for people who may watch, some things to think about. These discussions are going to pick up even more in the coming weeks as people prepare like you to transition back. So with that, I want to thank Malachi Irvin for jumping on board. It's always great having you here. We always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank DJ Swift, Delano, that is, who's doing a great job in his role. We got him for a couple more weeks before we head back, which will be the conclusion of this platform. We got to always shout out Orlando, Houston, Watkins out there keeping us connected to so many people. You've been a great resource to us, allowing us to get our message out to so many people that we probably normally wouldn't touch. So I'm happy with that. So with that, I'm Lindsey Huddleston with SPS Sports Psychology Solutions, signing off for this SPS Mental Toughness Zoom class. I want to thank you guys. And we just see you guys on the other side, okay?
Yeah.
Take care.